once you send somebody a letter more than 3, 4, 5 times, like within a week, you're going to get harassment. So, and like you said, if they sent that out to other people, the same thing, that collection agency is going to have a collection agency getting money out of them.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine 55,000 letters would be a whole truck? They come in, and probably 2 of them would have to come and deliver this mail to, the guy. I mean, can you imagine the poor couple, right? They don't, I guarantee they didn't have to go to the mailbox. They probably heard, on the door and the post office, it says, hey, we got a special delivery. Oh, what did I got? Well, we got 55,000 letters from a collection agency from you. Why aren't you paying your bills?
Geez, that is mind-boggling. That's a lot of letters. That's a lot of weight. Like you said, that had to be close to half a truckload or something. Geez. Yeah,
well, how many trees had to give up their life for it?
That's a good point, too. And look at all the manpower that people that either had to deliver it or sort it or whatever. I'm sure it wasn't all machines that did that, but that's such a waste of money. Just one glitch in the system or whatever really threw a big curveball in there.
Yeah, I'm surprised somebody in the IT department didn't catch it. I bet somebody or somebody's is going to lose their job off of this. But can you imagine when the name of that collection agency comes out, which it will, they're going to have egg on their face. Guarantee it. But you know what? This Maryland woman was hungry. So she goes into the store and she decides, well, you know what? I'm going to buy a lottery ticket. She can get a lot of pie and ice cream and eat it, too, at $30,000 winner.
Oh, nice. Boy, it seems like there's a lot of lucky people winning the lottery recently within the last few weeks. Some people winning it twice, and that's a nice little chunk of cash, $30,000.
Yeah, but, they're not telling you how many people lose their paychecks. I mean, there's people just as bad. Going to the casino, every paycheck, they waste their whole paycheck. Then they have to come home and look at their wife, and they have to look at their kids starving because there's no food in the house because they have an addiction to go to the casino and, spend all their money, losing it. Well, it's the same way. They go into the little grocery stores, they take a big hunk of their paycheck, and they just keep buying tickets, hoping they're going to win the jackpot. But then here's somebody, it's just hungry, looking for food. Just give me one ticket. They come out with 30,000. I mean, come on, or $1 million or 100,000. It's been crazy lately.
It has been, and one thing about gambling addiction, it's way worse than drug addiction, actually, because you could make one bet for 50,000, 100,000, whatever, and lose it all. Well, you can't do that much.
I can honestly say I have a child, which is an adult, one of my 8 kids, who has a gambling addiction. Every payday. This guy had a lot. He was going to buy a house. Actually, he was going to buy a duplex and rent half of it out. He had the money in the bank. He saved for years. And then something hit him. He all of a sudden went to the casino and he won a few dollars. So all of a sudden, I won money. Within a month, his $18,000 down payment he had was gone. He wagered it all in the casino and lost it. But it didn't go and quit there. It went for 2 years. 2 years, virtually every single cent he made working a full-time job, it went to support the casinos. That's how bad it can get with, this disease. It's bad. And then, I have another member in the family. It was almost as bad, but it almost cost a divorce with him and his wife because he would go every paycheck and he would go out and spend half of it on lotto tickets. And one day I was in his truck and I was looking at something. He had a shoebox and I opened it up and there was hundreds and hundreds of lotto tickets that didn't make it.
Oh, wow.
And he had every lame excuse to his wife why he didn't have money. I mean, come on. You have to be very naive to listen to somebody giving you excuse after excuse, day after day, year after year. But he got busted. So hopefully he's not doing that anymore. Well, an alligator makes a meal out of, an invasive python that decided, the python decided it was going to eat the alligator. But you know what? The alligator, got rid of the python.
That's amazing. You know, that battle goes back and forth. I don't know if it depends who gets who in the right position, but I think anyone could win. I know if the python's big enough, it's probably going to take any gator, but that's amazing. Those things, that's some primitive battles right there.
Well, you know what? A zoo trying to raise money in Texas has come up with a new Valentine's Day gimmick to get people into the zoo. You know what it is?
I'm afraid to hear it. What is it?
They will name a rat after your ex. Now, after they name a rat after your ex, they'll feed it a snake in the grass.
What an incentive. That is a heck of a sales technique to get people in and name a rat after your ex, and then you get to watch it get fed to a snake. That is amazing.
Yeah. Well, no, it doesn't get fed the snake. They feed the snake to the rat. Well, yeah, they do. And this is a zoo in Texas. All
kind of gimmicks going on. Anything to make $1, but that's pretty clever, though.
Yeah. Well, woman on Christmas Island. Can you believe there's an island named Christmas? They captured a video of this little thief stealing people's coffee cups.
Oh boy. Was it a monkey or something?
No, it was a crab.
A crab. Wow.
A crab had a collection of coffee cups.
Well, maybe the crab had a taste for coffee. Obviously, the crab must come out of water a good bit to get these coffee mugs.
I know. And you know what? In New Jersey, they mated a cheetah with a service dog.
I didn't think that was even possible. That's amazing.
Well, evidently they're doing it.
That's some serious advancement in DNA technology, because I didn't think you could do something so far apart from their own genes. But that was what they call chimeras or something like that, when they cross two animals, something like that. But boy, I wonder what it looks like when the outbreak or when it has its baby.
I don't have the slightest idea, but it might make a weird sound. In Canada, the police sent out the majority of their local police force, because they heard a child voice crying for help in the wooded area. They did a search, and they found the child. But the child was stuck in a fence. His head was stuck in the fence.
Oh,
and it turned out to be a goat.
Oh, so it actually was a kid, but it was a different kind of kid. But wow, I'm telling you, some animals sound like little kids, or even women screaming. But boy, oh boy, I feel bad for the goat. Who knows how long it was there? But thank God it wasn't a real kid, though. Well,
yeah, interesting though. It fooled enough people where they thought it was a kid screaming. So they sent out their whole, majority of their police department to go out and find them. And to their surprise, it wasn't a kid. I don't know. Well, longer winter or early spring. Well, now they're, again, like I said last night, they're predicting, because the groundhog is saying we're going to have an extended spring, and it's going to come early. Unfortunately, we're not going to have much of a summer.
That's, Puxatawny Phil, he was out the other day. I got to tell you, it was 55 degrees here today after being 65 yesterday, when it should be like 10 or 20 degrees. So, I don't know. It's amazing. The weather's all out of whack, Gary.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine? You're a police officer. You seize a car. Boy, I was going to stutter there. A car, because it had drugs in it. Okay, in other words, you take the car away. But then you feel really bad for the guy, and you go off to McDonald's and you buy him a Big Mac meal.
Gee, I never tell that. Wow. No, I never tell that.
Well, you know what? It tells me that police officers have compassion when somebody's hungry.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was going to say give his drugs back. I was like, what? But no, yeah. That's amazing because I'm sure the guy was pretty depressed after losing his windfall. But
yeah, but don't forget, when they seize your car for drugs, they also arrest you.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, as they evidently arresting the guy, the cop felt bad and bought him a meal.
Well, at least we know that, like you said, they're not all gutless and heartless.
Well, I don't know. I watched a thing on History Channel a couple years ago where, a local jail, what they fed the prisoners for lunch and dinner was pretty much the same thing. It kind of looked like a meatloaf, kind of, okay? And it was kind of shaped like, in a bread pan type of, shaped. And what was interesting about it, it was hard as a rock.
Oh.
And that's what they were giving the prisoners. And when they interviewed the head jailer, they said, this is what you give the prisoners. And he goes, as long as it meets government standards for nutrition, we're going to give it to them. We're not a fancy restaurant. But they showed some of the prisoners taking this lump of what it is, like their lunch, and banging it on the wall. And it sounded like it was awful hard to me.
Oh, my good. What you're describing, and I hate to say it again, but it sounds like that Soylent Green cube. It just does.
Well, yeah, maybe it's from the prisoners they execute somewhere. I don't know. Well, anyway, I'm really excited about our guest tonight. I'm excited about, how the show's going and all that stuff. So we're going to go on break. When we come back, well, we're going to talk a little bit more wacky news. We're going to talk about UFOs, and we're just going to talk because that's what we are, a talk show. We'll be back.
Jake the Maggot was a biker and drove his motorcycle very fast. Drove a big chop Harley with a gang color jacket and ran down Citizens for laughs. He had an old lady named Petula who packed an automatic 45 gun. They had just come up from California where they'd shot 6 cops for fun. Jake, he thought he was the best there was down the interstate he saw, till the day he tangled with the county sheriff who they all called 104. It was late on a Thursday evening, and Jake, he was feeling kind of mean, cause he'd just run out of his favorite truck, the one called amphetamine. So we sauntered up to Petula, and he said, say, baby, let's split. There's a little gas station on down the road that might be fun to hit. So they drove up to the station, and they both jumped off of Jake's ride. They were up to derision at Jake's decision as they both sauntered to the inside. The attendant, he was an old man, and he didn't think it very funny. When Petula pulled out that great big gun and said, honey, give me all your money. Well, the old man opened up the cash drawer, and Jake grabbed the money and ran. With Petula out the door to the big chop Harley that was parked on the center kickstand. Then they headed out for the 4-lane, and they thought it was lots of fun. With Jake on his hog, with Petula the dog, with the automatic 45 gun. He thought it was the best there was down the interstate he saw, till the day he tangled with the county sheriff who they all call 104. The old man didn't think it very humorous, and he didn't like to get sad.
you can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.